Fight.
Hey guys, it's Allie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a video that so many of you guys have been waiting for such a long time, and I am so thankful for all of you guys that have followed us along this journey over the past, honestly, 4 years if you followed us since TikTok, or 2 years since you followed us here on YouTube. And I'm so excited that the Lord has finally given us a release to really invite you guys into this part of our life that the camera doesn't get to see, because no matter how real you are, no matter how authentic that you are, social media only gets to see certain perspectives of your life. And you guys on YouTube, I make sure when I post, you guys see a really fun, uplifting, joyous part of my life, because that's my heart. I want to encourage you guys. I want you guys to feel like you leave inspired and like you leave with a smile. But there's also this side of my life that I believe the Lord has called me to keep private, and a huge part of that is me and Austin's relationship. So as a lot of you guys know, before quarantine, I was not on social media at all. I actually wanted to be a missionary in the mission field. Like, I was in Brazil. That was my plan, to go back there. And I went from not being on social media really barely at all to God calling me into it. And I'm so thankful. It was like the biggest blessing ever. And it has been a God roller coaster ever since. I would not change anything for the world. But stepping into that, all of a sudden my world, the plans I had for my life, as well as so many of you guys when you went through quarantine, were completely flipped upside down. I now had millions of opinions about my friendships, my relationships, the way I look, what I needed to do, my personality, just like flooding over me. And I had to discern what opinions were of God and were not of God. And it really tormented my mind. And I really had to learn how to control that for a super long time. And one of those main topics that people love to give their opinion on, and it wasn't even a bad thing. It was just, I mean, sometimes it was, because people say some rude things sometimes, was me and Austin's relationship. And at first there was really nothing between me and Austin. Like, I was talking to other people, he was talking to other people, just because like we weren't really friends like that. We were just making videos for fun because we were in the same house together and we just thought it was entertaining. But then kind of as things went on, these comments started to get to us, and I didn't know if it was really the comments that were making me feel some type of way or if it was really a feeling that I was having. And so it began to get very confusing for a while, and we stopped posting together for a season of life. And then, you know, God began to do some things inside of us, and that's when he really called us to keep our relationship, well, a certain aspect of our relationship at least, private for a while, so that those voices that were confusing me and those voices that were drowning out the voice of God, the only voice that matters and that leads you to peace and on the right path into everlasting life, was not drowned out. Like, I did not want God's voice to be confused with the rest of the voices around me. So I do my best still to share a portion of me and Austin's relationship that is lighthearted and fun, but there is another side that the camera doesn't get to see that God's really called us to keep private as we're discerning if it's his will for us or not. And as much as I can explain, I've tried to explain that to you guys, and some of you guys have been so gracious, and some of you guys have believed us and you've supported us the whole way. Other of you guys, it hasn't been the story, but I completely understand. But it's really not for me or you to understand, because all that matters is I know what God called me to do, and I know that when God calls you to do something, that it's for your good. And so even if I don't understand it, because there are times where, I mean, I read you guys' comments, and some of you guys' comments are like, they're not telling us for views, or Allie's hesitant and Austin's all for it, and Allie, he's too good for you because you're hesitant, all these horrible things. And really, it's not about any of that at all. It's about, okay, when do I feel God releasing me to now open myself up to all of these opinions of other people? When is my foundation strong enough in what you've called me to do that I can now take that on? And I feel, and I know Austin feels too, like now is the time. And I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this day to share with you guys and with my family and with my friends on here all that God's been doing, because this has been a season, the past year and a half, of so many ups and downs, so many moments of tears and confusion, but so many moments of peace and God miracles and growth. And I'm so thankful that I listened to God and that I took his route. And I'm so thankful for all of you guys that have been so understanding, even when it didn't make sense along the way. Like, I know for me, a lot of what I've done my entire life didn't make sense to people, and they used to get frustrated. Like, for example, I was 20 years old, I'd never gone on a date, I'd never kissed a boy, like I had never dated or anything, and people would look at me and they were like, you're crazy, like you're hyper spiritual, why won't you do those things? And it's because I held that place as such an honor in my life, and I wanted to make sure whenever I partnered with somebody or whenever I invested in someone to that level, it was who God called me to do that with, because I didn't want to waste time. I know the calling God has over my life, and I know there's protection in walking in his will. And so that's been a huge part of me and Austin's relationship too, is I don't care how slow I have to take it. I'll take it as slow as I need to take it, and so will Austin, to know that it is in God's will, because in God's will and in his timing is when he can bless, when he protects, and when he can nourish and flourish and all of those good things. And so that's what we've been doing over the last 4 years. With that being said, I am so excited to tell you guys that God has finally given us the release, and me and Austin both feel peace, that it is time to share with you guys what's been going on and kind of the stories and the big moments and the hard moments that have been going on behind the scenes that you guys did not get to see over the last really year and a half of our lives. We're going to be doing it the next couple of vlog episodes, kind of sitting down, talking to you guys through the emotions celebrations, recreating the moments that you guys weren't at because we kept special to ourselves and with God and our family members, but we still want you guys to be a part of. So it's gonna be a lot of fun catching you guys up. Like, I have been waiting for this moment. I get to tell all of my best friends, and I really believe that it's gonna give you a better insight of who me and Austin are, who I am personally, and that the best is yet to come. So thank you guys for following along on our journey. All of you guys that have been so patient and so amazing. You're such a blessing in our lives, and I'm really excited for these next couple of vlogs and just to see what God has in store with his timing. I love y'all, and don't forget to subscribe and like, because this is going to be a roller coaster. See you guys.